New Mercury 2 destroys ChatGPT. There is a new AI model. It just dropped. And it is fast. We are talking 1,000 tokens per second. That is 10 times faster than ChatGPT. It does math, it does code, it does reasoning, and it costs less. This thing just changed the game. Let me show you everything. Okay, so let me tell you what Mercury 2 actually is, because most people have no idea this even exists yet. It just launched on February 24th, 2026. It's made by a company called Inception Labs, and it is built completely different from every other AI model out there right now. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, they all work the same way. They generate one word at a time, one token, then the next, then the next. It is like typing one letter at a time on a keyboard. Slow, sequential, limited. Mercury 2 does not do that. It generates all the tokens at the same time, right? In parallel, it uses something called diffusion architecture. Hey, if we haven't met already, I'm the digital avatar of Julian Goldie, CEO of SEO agency Goldie Agency. Whilst he's helping clients get more leads and customers, I'm here to help you get the latest AI updates. Julian Goldie reads every comment, so make sure you comment below. Think of it like this: instead of painting a picture one brush stroke at a time, Mercury 2 throws the whole canvas up at once and keeps refining it until it looks perfect. That is the big idea. And that is why it hits 1,000 tokens per second. Now, let me put that in real numbers so you understand how wild this is. GPT-5 Mini runs at about 71 tokens per second. Claude Haiku runs at about 89 tokens per second. Mercury 2 runs at over 1,000 tokens per second. That is more than 10 times faster than ChatGPT, more than 11 times faster than Claude Haiku on the same task right now. That is not a small gap. That is not a marginal improvement. That is a completely different league. And here is where it gets even more interesting, because fast is great, but fast and dumb is useless. So let me show you the benchmark scores, because Mercury 2 is not just fast, it is actually smart too. On AIMA 2025, which is one of the hardest math benchmarks out there, Mercury 2 scored 91.1%. That is a top tier score. That puts it right up there with the best reasoning models available right now. On Live Code Bench, which tests coding ability, it scored 67.3%. Solid, competitive, right in the mix with the best coding models. On IF Bench, which tests how well a model follows instructions, it scored 71.3%. Again, strong numbers across the board. Now, is it perfect? No, it does trail slightly behind some models on the most complex deep reasoning tasks. We're talking maybe 5 to 15% behind on some edge cases. So if you need the deepest, most complex chain of thought reasoning, the top frontier models still have an edge there. But for the vast majority of real world use cases, Mercury 2 is right there, and it is doing it 10 times faster. And if you want to learn how to use AI models like Mercury 2 to automate your business, get more customers, and save hundreds of hours, the AI Profit Boardroom is the best place to do that. Check the link in the comment and description. Now, here is the part I really want you to pay attention to, because this is where the practical value kicks in. Mercury 2 supports a 128K context window. That means it can read and process massive amounts of text in one go, entire code bases, long documents, big research papers, no problem. It also supports tool calling, so you can connect it to external tools and APIs and have it take actions, not just generate text, actually do things. It supports structured outputs. So if you need clean JSON, formatted data, consistent output for your automations, it delivers that. And it uses an OpenAI compatible API, which means if you are already building with OpenAI, you can switch to Mercury 2 without rewriting your entire code base. It is a drop in replacement. That is huge for developers. Now, let me tell you who this is actually built for, because this is not just a chat tool. Mercury 2 is designed specifically for production use cases where speed matters at scale. Think about AI agents. If you are running an agent that needs to process information fast and take action in real time, Mercury 2 is a game changer. The bottleneck in most agent workflows right now is generation speed. Mercury 2 removes that bottleneck. Think about voice AI. Real-time voice applications need responses in milliseconds, not seconds. Mercury 2 can actually keep up with that. Most current models cannot. Think about coding assistance. You want autocomplete that actually completes before you have finished thinking. Mercury 2 gets there. Think about search applications. Real-time search needs fast summarization and synthesis. Mercury 2 handles that at a level current models simply cannot match on speed. And here is something I want to highlight specifically for anyone running a business and using AI automation in your workflows. because this is where it gets really practical for us. Right now, a lot of AI automation workflows have latency problems. You trigger an action, you wait, the model processes, you wait more, the response comes back, then your automation continues. That wait time adds up. Across hundreds or thousands of runs, it kills efficiency. Mercury 2 at 1,000 tokens per second cuts that wait time dramatically. If you are building AI automations for your business, think about what it means to have your AI pipeline running 10 times faster. You can run more tasks, process more data, serve more customers, do more with the same resources. That is the kind of efficiency that actually moves the needle. Okay, let me keep going. Because I have not told you about the cost side yet. One of the biggest hidden benefits of Mercury 2 is GPU efficiency. Because it generates tokens in parallel rather than sequentially, it uses GPU compute differently, more efficiently. What that means in practice is lower cost per token compared to running a model like GPT at the same output quality. When you are running at scale, that cost difference compounds fast. Cheaper per token plus faster generation means you can do more for less. That is a real business advantage. Now, let me talk about how diffusion actually works, because I think this is worth understanding. Not in a super technical way, just enough so you get why it is different and why it matters. Traditional language models are autoregressive. They predict the next token based on everything before it, one at a time, left to right. Every single generation step depends on the one before it. That is the fundamental limit on speed. You cannot parallelize that process. The architecture itself creates the bottleneck. Diffusion models work differently. They start with noise, randomness, and then they iteratively denoise, they refine, they apply corrections, they converge on the right answer through a process of repeated refinement rather than sequential prediction. And because those refinement steps can happen in parallel across all the tokens at once, you get the massive speed gains. The key question people always ask is, does the quality suffer? Because if you are generating everything at once and just refining, does it make more mistakes? And the honest answer based on the benchmarks is sometimes slightly on the hardest tasks. But for most tasks, no, the error-correcting refinement process does a really good job of maintaining quality, and Inception Labs has clearly put a lot of work into getting those benchmarks to where they are. 91.1% on AMI Math is not a model that is cutting corners on quality. So what is the practical takeaway here? When do you use Mercury 2 versus when do you stick with GPT 4.0 or Claude or Gemini? Use Mercury 2 when speed is your primary constraint, when you are building something that needs real-time responses, when you are running high-volume automation pipelines, when you are working on voice applications or agents that need to react fast, when you are building production coding tools, when latency is killing your user experience. Stick with frontier reasoning models when you need the absolute deepest multi-step reasoning. When you are working on the hardest mathematical proofs or the most complex research synthesis, when accuracy on edge cases matters more than speed. That is the honest breakdown. Mercury 2 is not the best model at everything. Nothing is, but it is the fastest capable model right now by a significant margin. And for a huge percentage of real-world use cases, that speed advantage is the most important factor. Now, let me also mention something that I think is going to matter a lot going forward. Mercury 2 right now is positioned as a mid-tier model, fast, efficient, competitive on benchmarks, lower cost. Think of it in the same tier as GPT-5 Mini or Claude Haiku. Not the biggest, most powerful frontier model, but genuinely useful and production ready. Now, if you want to dive even deeper into AI automation, I've got something special for you. I run a community called the AI Profit Boardroom, the best place to scale your business, get more customers, and save hundreds with AI automation. Learn how to save time and automate your business with AI tools like Mercury 2. And if you want the full process, SOPs, and 100 plus AI use cases like this one, join the AI Success Lab. You'll get all the video notes from there, plus access to our community of 45,000 members who are crushing it with AI. The link is in the comments and description.